Doug, flowers, jewelry is a good present.
John,
How about you clean up after the dogs?
You're making it worse.
Wash the car?
The more you say, the more trouble I'm going to be in.
Oh, come on.
Hey, we're on the air.
Oh. Well, she wasn't listening anyway, right? She's mad at you.
I really hope not. Santa Cruz hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. This is the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's time for Mr. Football.
Mr. Football.
Mr. Football, I'm going to throw you a curveball.
We're changing your name, Mr. Football.
Go for it.
How about the University of Arizona Wildcats? They are ranked number 6 in the nation, and they had a big win at San Diego State last night.
We're talking basketball.
We're
talking basketball. You didn't say that. You said,
I said I was throwing Mr. Football a curveball.
Yeah, but
and then I dove into basketball.
That could have, but you didn't tell anybody you were diving into basketball.
You're starting to irritate me.
That's a switch.
Anyway, do you know anything about college basketball, Mr. Football?
I do indeed. I'm a big Arizona Wildcats fan,
Yes,
Down,
baby.
and a University of Connecticut fan. John knows a lot about that.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I grew up, just so you know, Mr. Football, I grew up a mile and a half from the campus of the University of Arizona.
Doesn't matter. There's no
There
football
you go.
outside. There's no football. There's no basketball outside the ACC.
And you know who else I like, Mr. Football?
What do you like?
Phoenix Suns. The
Do you?
story of the year. They're going to be the comeback team of the year.
You think so, huh?
They're second place right now in their division.
Yeah, right behind the...
They are going to finish higher than everybody's L.A. stinking Lakers.
Well, because the Lakers are horrible.
So?
Mr. Basketball, would you tell him, please?
All right, your thoughts, Mr. Basketball.
Go.
On the Phoenix Suns?
Annie, whatever you want.
On whatever I want. I'll tell you that those Los Angeles Clippers look mighty good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's forgot about.
They haven't played the Suns yet.
The Suns, you keep worrying about those Lakers. I think you should be worrying about another team.
I know. It's just that I hate the Lakers.
Uh-oh, somebody like CP3 in the clip house. The clip joint, right? Right, Mr.
Oh,
Basketball?
absolutely.
All right, how about the Arizona Wildcats?
Nick Johnson had a big game last night, and I think he's the key for them to get to the Final Four this year.
Can we talk about college basketball, I don't know, March Madness, say, in March when games
my
matter?
football teams are terrible. I'm last place in our picks, and I just wanted to go in a different direction because it's all about me.
Well, let's talk about your wife.
No. Anyway, let's get back to football.
All right.
All right, Mr. Football. How come no team is good yet?
No team is good?
Yeah, I mean...
What about Seattle?
Not dominant.
They've lost one game. What was your definition of dominant?
I'm
They've lost
pretty sure
one
there's
game.
one dominant team, and they haven't lost yet, so...
Dominant, though? Kansas City. I know we're talking Kansas City. They're going to lose this week to Denver.
Some people beg to differ.
Hey, Mr. Football, you know how you know you're having a mediocre year in the NFL? When the New England Patriots are favored to lose against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Carolina's favored over...
By 2.5 points. When was the last time that would have happened?
Probably the last time that they met in the Super Bowl. I believe it was 2004.
Yeah, I think you're right. But, no, okay, wait a minute. So let's back up a second. Before we were so rudely interrupted by Doug. Kansas City is the dominant team in the NFL this year? Really, Mr. Football?
The record proves it. They're 9-0. I mean, they have the biggest test coming up to the next 3 weeks. So
2 of the next 3 weeks, and they could conceivably lose both those games. Are they still dominant? Are you Do you really feel comfortable, if you're a Kansas City fan, you really feel comfortable going in to Denver, playing Denver, thinking you're going to come out 10-0?
Yes, I'm throwing all my eggs in that basket just because of their defense.
The defense is good, but they can't. Alex Smith doesn't throw the ball down the field.
The one thing that they've consistently done the whole year is gotten the opponent to play their style of game. If they can get Denver to play their style of game, then Kansas City takes it.
But isn't Denver's style of game the same thing? Isn't Denver's style? The styles are the same. Denver's got more weapons.
Denver is all-out attack. They want to put the ball in the air and then pound it when they get to the goal line with no Sean Marino. All Kansas City wants to do is get Jamal Charles in the flat and try to get a vertical game going after that.
Yeah, they don't get a vertical game.
Hey, speaking of Alex Smith, I bet if you asked Jim Harbaugh right now if he'd like to have Alex Smith back, what do you think he'd say?
Over Colin Kaepernick?
Yes. The kind of year the Kaepernick's having?
No.
Do you agree with me, Mr. Football?
No, I don't think he's fighting at his chops right now. I think he just has to wait it out with Kaepernick because he's still young.
Yeah, but he's regressed. He looked a lot better last year.
But see, I think that's what happened is a lot of these first-year quarterbacks last year come into the league, and then they get figured out a little bit. And they have to progress and evolve. RG3, Russell Wilson, they're not having the dominant play. Am I right, Mr. Football?
Absolutely. You're 100%.
See? I like Mr. Football.
Somebody's agreeing with you?
Is that a first?
It could
Yeah.
be. It very well could be.
Wow.
But no, I think I don't know whether I would consider Kansas City dominant. Okay, I think they are probably one of the weaker 9-0 teams. You go back through NFL history. You know, the Bears at one time with the Super Bowl shuffle defense and the Doomsday defense. Those guys were dominant. You would go into a game and you'd go, we got no chance. Hopefully, we just don't get hurt. You go back to the old the Patriots that one year. They were dominant. I don't know whether I can say Kansas City's dominant. Seattle is close as long as they play at home.
Would you agree if Kansas City wins on Sunday? Would you consider them dominant then?
It's going to be tough.
I'm
I don't
asking
know.
you a question.
I don't
It's
know.
a yes or no question.
No, I would not agree. I would not call them dominant. I would call them. I mean,
How did you get through law school?
Mr. Football, do they have a tough schedule
How
this
did
year?
you get through law school?
Well, the two
I drank
They're-
heavily, but that's a
they're-
whole other issue.
Sunday they're at Denver, and then they get New England, and then they get Denver again.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Okay, if they get those three, then can we call them dominant?
If they win
believe
those
so.
three, then yeah. Okay, fine, they're dominant. But what are the odds of them winning those three, Doug?
Okay, I'm
Little side bet?
changing the subject.
Yeah, I figured you
Oh, we
might.
got to take a break, and I'll change the subject when we get back.
Mr. Football, you're coming back, I hope.
Yep.
All right, I want a piece of you on the
I'll be
whole
here.
football pick. All right. You're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM 1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. And yeah, we'll be back, all right.
Yeah, we will.
Absolutely.
We will.